Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of December 26th through December 31st, 2023, and I'm finally finishing up my 2023 Project Life. It feels so good to be done. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, this is that final week in my 2023 Project Life, and I'm just so happy to be done with this one. So I have, let's see, I printed two 4x6 photos here. So this was December 26th through the 31st. So it was a little bit shorter than a week because I put Christmas Eve. I didn't want to split Christmas Eve and Christmas Day onto two separate weeks. And then I didn't end up actually doing anything for New Year's. So I ended up, it's mostly just a pretty quiet week here because of that, because there wasn't really anything for New Year's. I guess I can put this here and this one here potentially. Not sure yet how I want to arrange that. So I'm working with the Stories by the Month kit from December from Ali Edwards, and I'm excited to pull this one out and finally be done with the Stories by the Month kits from 2023. So let's see, we have the Three Things card, which I was using these in 2023. This Merry one, which I guess I could include, even though I'm not really doing Christmas. A Looking Back. Definitely want the bullet point list. I do need a title card though. So we have this one that has some tags. 'Tis the Season. So that one I'm going to save. I'm not sure I want to use that one because I'm not really using, like, Christmas isn't in this spread. The tabs I don't want to use. Let's see. Some of these are cute. And then there's also the papers. So this one I think I'm going to save. And then there's this one. I could cut this down and make my title card, which I might do. Let's see. So there's not a ton of stories this week. I do really like this one and I wish I could use it, but I don't have a 4x6 spot. I'm trying to think if there's a way I could cut it up. I probably could, but I feel like that would be more trouble than it's worth to like cut these out and like stitch them to get it to fit. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. Oh, there's these tag set. There's a lot of tags here though. I do like the tags. So it's been so long since this kit came out that I don't remember what it looks like. It's like I'm looking at a kit for the first time. So I'm just kind of going through these and seeing maybe I can fill in, use these tags. Let's see, December right now. I could use that on my title. 'Tis the Season. Can use this to journal about putting away Christmas. I mean, I could put this, although I don't love, like, you can't read it through there, so that might not work. I could use the background of this. I don't love that this isn't white. Maybe I want to put it on like red or something. Let's see. Love these memories. I don't love a lot of these tags for this. I feel like they're too Christmassy. I do like this one and this one. I think I can use this tag too. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of go through, see what I need to pull it from my stash. Let me open these. So let's see. Like, this one is definitely Christmassy. Let's see, this one is not, but I don't think this, I guess I could put it vertically like that, but I don't really want to cover up so much of that. This one, I guess I could actually put it on here to talk about putting away Christmas, because that doesn't really cover up anything good. Remember this. right now, it is what it is. I think that one is good for New Year's Eve, because I ended up not really doing anything for New Year's Eve. And although this one doesn't really make sense, I don't want to use, it is what the green, I guess I can do that like this and talk about my New Year's Eve. Let's see. This is just going to be a filler. I think I'm going to cut out this one to make another card. And where I have, this was the 'Tis the Season. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get this one put together.
Okay, so I struggled a little bit in the beginning with this one, but I do actually end up loving how it comes together. So the first thing I did here was crop down some white cardstock to make some 3x4 cards. I knew that I didn't have enough cards in the kit to fill in the pockets. In 2023, the Stories by the Month kits had way fewer cards than they have now, because they came with 6x8 papers. And because the way the spread is set up, I only needed 3x4 cards. I couldn't use any of the 4x6 ones. I needed more cards. So I ended up making a few. You can see here I made this one with a tag, with one of the chipboard. I have a few with some tags, and I cropped down the vellum to add on top of one. I end up using a lot of the tags to make my own cards and adding some brads on them. And I really, really love how that turned out. What I'm doing now is adhering this down onto this photo of Pumpkin. He's sitting in the box with the Christmas tree to put the Christmas tree away. And I'm just documenting the cleaning up of Christmas, which was done a little early this year. I am one of those people that puts Christmas away usually on January 1st or January 2nd, right around then. This year I put it away on December 30th. I absolutely love Christmas. I love all the decorations. I love having it out, but I love putting it all away at the end of the season. So I wanted to document that this week, and the fact that I wanted it to be put away a little earlier than usual and was just ready to move on to the new year. So I'm using these alpha stickers from Kelly Perky to document putting away Christmas on this card here, and then I took it over to my sewing machine and added some stitching on top of that. And then I'm just pulling the stitching through the back, and I'm going to tape it down. And so I just ran it through my sewing machine to put a row of stitching through each of the alphas, just to kind of hold them down and add a little bit of texture. And then I'm adding, with my rolling date stamp, I'm going to put December 30th on there, just to document that that was the actual day that I put the Christmas stuff away. I punched a hole in there, and I'm putting this star brad from my stash. I grabbed a whole pile of those from my stash because I'm going to go a little crazy with them on this spread and put them in all of the tags. And I really love that cohesiveness throughout the spread. Here I'm creating my title card. I put the December Right Now tag, and then I'm using my date stamp along the side of it. And I really love how that came out. I think I'm going to do that on some future spreads because I just like the way it looked with the stamping along the side. I added a little star from my stash. You can see they're like little jeweled stars there. And then I'm working on this filler card here. I put the vellum and then the Right Now chipboard, and again, I'm adding a brad. At some point, I'm going to realize there's that 4x6 card to the left there that has the tags, and I had intended to crop that down and make a filler card with it or some more journaling, but I realized after I already had a plan for all of my cards, so I decided to scrap that idea and move forward with the plan that I had come up with. For this card, I layered one of the vellum tags with one of the chipboard tags, and I'm going to do some journaling on there about New Year's Eve, and how my plans kind of fell through at the last minute, just because I'm a planner and I like to plan ahead. My daughter's the complete opposite. She's a last minute person, and sometimes it drives me crazy. So I'm just journaling a little bit about that and how, I use the It Is What It Is chipboard, and looking back on it, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's totally fine to miss New Year's Eve for me. I don't really care that much about it. I tend to go to bed around 9 p.m. anyways. So it was totally fine, but I wanted to document that and kind of capture my feelings from the moment. This 3 Things card, so I was using these in 2023 throughout the entire year. I used the Stories by the Month kit as the final spread of each month. So it's the final week of each month. And so I use this as kind of a recap to recap 3 highlights from the month. So I'm looking back through the rest of my Project Life album through the other weeks in December to get a feel for what else happened and what I wanted to document on this card, just to kind of recap it. I will admit it was a little tough going back and working on this far in the future. I'm used to doing Project Life only about a month or so behind. So at this point, I'm like 4 months behind, and I had worked on so many more recent spreads that it was a little hard to kind of switch gears mentally to go back to Christmas time. But I ended up really loving how the spread came out. I kind of wish I had done it sooner when I was in the festive spirit, but it is one of my favorites, I think, in this album. So this card here has these stars, and I'm using this to document just the other random things this week that weren't documented on other cards, like the little stories. You can see I have my Hobonichi cousin there. The weekly spreads on the Hobonichi cousin I use to document kind of in the moment what happened, and I'm very grateful for that, especially for a spread like this where I'm going back so far in time to document what happened, and I'm journaling just the random little stories of the week. So this card had that blank space at the top there, and I was trying to figure out what to put there, but I knew I wanted something. So I think I consider using the stamp set, and I end up going with this chipboard phrase. The stamp set had something that said like words and photos, love these memories, which I had considered, but it was the same exact sentiment that's on this chipboard piece, so I didn't end up using it. That is a note I will say about the stamp sets in the Stories by the Month kit. This year they're no longer in the kit, they are an add-on, but they do tend to use some of the same exact phrases and like art as on some of the pieces in the kit. So I tend to not use them on the same spread, but I like having them for additional projects. But if you wonder like why I never use the stamp in these spreads, it's because those sentiments and styles are on the products themselves, and I don't want to use the same thing twice in a spread. For this, I just made it a little filler card. I added some washi, added another one of the tags and one of my brads just to kind of tie it together. And I like that as a simple filler card for this spread. This card says looking back. So I used it just to kind of reflect on how I was feeling in this season and how I was happy that the Christmas season was over and I was so ready for the new year. And I was really enjoying kind of that space between Christmas and New Year's. And then I was really just kind of thinking about where to go from here, if I needed to add anything else. I pulled over these word phrase strips from my stash and paired them with these stars that I had already pulled out for my title card, just to add something else onto a couple of my photos. And then I'm going to end up calling this one done. I really, really love all the greens and the colors of the spread, and it's a little bit Christmassy. You can see I still have my Christmas tree in one of the photos, but it's not over the top Christmassy because this is kind of after the Christmas season. And like I said, working on the spread, I was not really in the Christmas spirit because it is April. So I am super happy with how it turned out. I hope that you also enjoyed this. And I hope that if you have not yet finished up your 2023 album, this is the inspiration you need to pull that album out and get those stories told and finish up that year. I know I always struggle to finish up December because I focus during that month on December daily. And then once it's January, I'm excited for my new album. And I am still happy with the fact that I go forward with the new album without having finished this one so I can gain that momentum. But I'm so happy to go back and complete this spread and complete this album. I hope that if you are in that place that you find the time to do it as well, because it just feels so good to have all of these stories told. I will be back with a full flip through of this album soon. I'm not entirely sure when it's going to post, but fairly soon. So stay tuned for that. And there you go. Here's a look at that final spread. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.